All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're tackling something a lot of you have been asking about.
Yeah, that magic number, $250,000 a year. Is it really possible?
Well, that's what we're diving into today. We found this video by Finance with Lester. He's a YouTuber who's been saying it's easy.
Easy, huh?
Yeah, I know. I was skeptical too.
Oh, yeah, huge red flags right away, but we watched the whole thing.
And honestly, there are some interesting ideas in there.
Yeah, even if easy is a bit of a stretch.
Totally agree. So what stood out to you?
Honestly, the way Lester frames it is pretty clever. I mean, $250,000, that's intimidating. But he breaks it down. Daily target, $685. Suddenly, it's less scary.
Right, it feels more manageable, like bite-sized. It reminds me of that saying, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time,
Mhm.
exactly. And Lester really emphasizes those bites should be, as he calls them, non-labor efforts.
Massive income, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like he gives the example of selling digital planners. My first thought was, isn't that market like totally saturated?
Right, so many people doing that already.
But Lester argues you can always find your own niche, your unique angle.
I can see that. There's a lot of variety out there, even within those popular categories.
For sure. But this is where I think we got to be realistic. Passive doesn't equal zero effort.
Right. There's always some work involved, even if it's not your typical 9 to 5.
Exactly. Like even dividend investing, you still got to research companies, manage that portfolio. It's not just money magically appearing.
Makes sense. So there's no get-rich-quick button here, but Lester does make a good point about using what's already out there.
You mean like existing platforms?
Yeah, like he talks about YouTube, even before you're monetized, and using affiliate marketing.
Right, tapping into those existing audiences instead of starting from scratch.
Now, we should probably mention, Lester's background is in sales and marketing.
Yeah, and he's definitely good at selling himself, so take some of his claims with a grain of salt.
For sure. Always good to be a little skeptical.
Mm.
But that core idea, using existing platforms, is smart.
Definitely. Like, if you already have a blog, a following on social media, why not recommend products you love, affiliate links, and bam, you're earning.
You're providing value, like he says, but also making it work for you.
Exactly. And it's not just about the platforms themselves, it's about collaboration, too.
He talks about that a lot, right? That no one is self-made idea.
He really emphasizes that. Partnerships can really change the game, speed things up.
It's true. 2 heads are better than 1 and all that.
Right. And he even mentions finding collaborators in, get this, YouTube comments.
Sounds a little chaotic,
Mhm.
but I get the point.
Yeah.
You're already engaging with content you like, so maybe others there are on the same wavelength.
Exactly. It might lead to something.
That's true. Maybe not a business partnership every time, but even just a helpful connection.
It's about being open to the possibilities.
So keeping an open mind and looking for those connections wherever they might pop up.
Exactly. It's about shifting your perspective from seeing collaboration as something rigid to something more organic and dynamic.
Okay, that makes sense. So less about a super formal plan and more about those unexpected encounters that turn into something great.
Precisely. And, this ties back to what we were discussing earlier, leveraging existing resources.
Right, it's not just about those platforms. It's also about your network, your own skills, what you've learned already, what can you build upon.
Exactly. What hidden gems do you already have? What's there that you can leverage to give yourself a head start?
So we're not starting from zero. We're finding those advantages we might not have even realized were there.
Absolutely. And this is where mindset comes in. Lester talks about this a lot. Being fearless, not letting those doubts hold you back.
I like that. Don't let the fear stop you.
Right. And he even says, reach out to him directly for help. Now, who knows if that's genuine, but the message is, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Absolutely.
Huh.
There's no shame in needing guidance. It's actually really smart to seek out advice from people who have been there.
Exactly. So often we let pride or fear stop us from reaching out, but collaboration means admitting we don't have to know everything.
Right? Mentors, communities, even just open conversations with people in your field, those can be so valuable.
Absolutely. And sometimes just talking through a problem with someone else can help you see things from a new perspective and find a solution you might not have considered on your own.
I totally agree. Sometimes just bouncing ideas off of someone else can lead to a breakthrough. So it sounds like Lester's approach, while maybe not easy, is more about strategy, resourcefulness, maybe a little bit of luck, and definitely a lot of mindset.
You hit the nail on the head. It's not a magic formula, but a way of thinking. And remember, even if you don't reach that exact $250,000, these principles can still help you earn more and find success.
Exactly. And even if we don't achieve every single goal we set, the journey itself is valuable. We learn, we connect, we grow along the way. And that's just as important as the final outcome, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's about the whole experience, not just the end result.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset, platforms, and collaboration. But for our listeners out there who are thinking, this is great in theory, but how do I actually do this? What are the key takeaways we can put into action?
I think the most valuable thing Lester highlights is breaking down those huge EE goals, like he did with that $685 a day. Instead of getting overwhelmed by the big picture, think about what you can realistically do each day, each week. Those small wins build up over time.
Right, baby steps.
Mhm.
But what about those non-labor efforts? Any specific types of passive income that you think are particularly promising?
Definitely. We talked about dividend investing earlier, which is great for long-term wealth. Real estate rentals are popular too, though that takes more upfront money. And then there's online business, selling digital products, online courses, affiliate marketing. It's a huge world.
So many options. But how do we even know where to start? How do we find the right opportunity for us?
That's where some self-reflection comes in. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? Think about the problems you can solve for others. Once you see your own strengths clearly, the ideas for income or collaborations will start flowing.
Right. It's about using what we already have, our existing skills and passions, to create something new.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to think outside the box. The best ideas are often the ones that challenge conventional thinking.
Okay, so we're getting creative, we're being resourceful, but there's still this selling yourself aspect that Lester keeps bringing up. I'm not a salesperson. How do we even approach that?
It's a great question. But selling yourself doesn't have to be sleazy or pushy. It's about being able to communicate your value, your skills, your vision to potential partners or clients.
Right, so it's more about being able to clearly and confidently explain what we bring to the table.
Exactly. Think about what makes you unique, what sets you apart.
Okay, so we need to know our strengths and be able to talk about them well. But what about when we feel like we're not experienced enough, like we don't have that much to offer yet?
That's where continuous learning comes in. The world is always changing. There are new platforms, new strategies popping up all the time. Stay curious, keep learning, and you'll gain more confidence as you go.
Okay, so we're never really done learning, right?
Exactly. It's a lifelong journey of growth and adaptation. The more you know, the better you'll be at selling yourself and your ideas.
Makes sense. So we're always evolving, always improving. But what happens when we hit a roadblock? A challenge that feels impossible to overcome?
That's when collaboration becomes even more crucial. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A mentor, a friend, another entrepreneur, someone who's been there.
Right, because everyone faces challenges along the way, and it's so much easier to navigate those challenges when you have a support system in place.
Exactly. And sometimes just talking it out can lead to a breakthrough. So earning $250,000 a year, it's not easy, like Lester says, but it is achievable with the right approach. It's about those small steps, the resources you already have, and working together.
I love that. It's not just about the money, it's about the entire journey. The growth, the connections we make along the way.
Yeah.
Inspiring, honestly.
Absolutely. And even if you don't hit that exact number, the skills and connections you build will be valuable no matter what your goals are.
Exactly. So while we can't give you a guaranteed step-by-step guide to making $250,000 a year, hopefully this deep dive has given you some new ways to think about it, new tools, and a sense that it is possible.
That's what we're here for. It's not about debunking some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about showing you the principles that actually work, the things that can empower you to reach your financial goals, whatever those might be.
I love that. And the thing that really stood out to me about Lester's video was that emphasis on mindset. Be fearless. Don't let self-doubt stop you. He even said, reach out to me for help.
It's so important. We often let fear or pride get in the way, but collaborating means recognizing we don't have to have every single answer ourselves.
Right. We can learn from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Mentors, communities, even just those conversations with people in your field, those can give you insights you'd never find on your own.
Right. It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that. And Lester actually echoes that. He talks about how collaboration can fast-track your success. He particularly highlights the value of finding collaborators within your niche.
And he even mentions finding them in, of all places, YouTube comments, which honestly, at first I was like, really?
It does sound kind of random.
But then it clicked. You're already interacting with content you're interested in. Chances are others there have similar passions, similar goals.
It's true. You never know where those valuable connections might be hiding.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern here. It's about connections. Using those platforms, finding those unexpected collaborations, seeking advice from mentors and communities. But let's be real, it's easy to get swept up in the excitement. What are the practical steps we can actually take?
Well, the most valuable thing I took away from Lester was that idea of breaking it down, like he did with the $685 daily target. Instead of focusing on the huge end goal, think about what you can realistically do each day or each week.
Okay, so it's about those baby steps, building momentum over time.
Yeah.
But what about those non-labor efforts he talks about? Are there specific types of passive income that you think are more promising?
For sure. We already mentioned dividend investing, which is great for long-term wealth. Real estate rentals are another popular choice, although they usually require more money up front. And then there's the whole world of online businesses, which is so diverse. Selling digital products, creating online courses, affiliate marketing, and so much more. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's about finding what aligns with your skills and interests.
Right, so passive income isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding the right fit for you. But how do we identify those opportunities that align with our skills and interests?
That's where self-reflection comes in. What are you good at? What do you actually enjoy doing? What problems can you solve for other people? Once you know your strengths, brainstorming those potential income streams or collaborations becomes a lot easier. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and explore unconventional opportunities.
Okay, so we're talking self-awareness, creativity, and a willingness to try new things. But what about this whole selling yourself thing? Lester emphasizes, I'm not a natural salesperson. How do we even approach that?
I get it. A lot of people struggle with that, but selling yourself doesn't have to be pushy or manipulative. It's about communicating your value effectively, showcasing your skills and your vision to potential partners or clients.
Right, so it's about passion, about being genuinely excited about what you're doing and then sharing that excitement with others. But how do we actually do that effectively?
First and foremost, you have to believe in yourself and the value you offer. If you don't believe it, it'll be hard to convince anyone else. Then, you need to be able to articulate your skills and experiences clearly and concisely. What makes you unique? What sets you apart from the competition?
Okay, so know your strengths and be able to explain them well. But what about those times when we don't feel experienced enough? When we feel like we don't have much to offer yet?
That's where continuous learning comes in. The world's always changing. New platforms, new strategies are popping up all the time. Stay curious, keep learning, and you'll gain more confidence as you go.
Okay, so we're never really done learning. It's an ongoing journey.
Exactly. It's about embracing that growth and adaptability. The more you learn, the better you'll be at selling yourself and your ideas. And the cool thing is, even if you don't hit that exact $250,000, those skills and connections you build will be valuable no matter what your goals are.
Exactly. So it's really about the bigger picture, isn't it? It's not just about hitting a specific number. It's about the journey, the growth, the connections we make along the way.
It is. It's about the whole experience.
So while we might not be able to hand you a step-by-step guide to making $250,000, hopefully, this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective, some new tools, and that feeling that it really is within reach.
Exactly. It's not about debunking some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about empowering you to reach those financial goals, whatever yours may be. And one thing that really stood out to me from Lester's video was that emphasis on mindset, being fearless and not letting self-doubt hold you back.
I love that, too, that fearlessness. It's so easy to let doubt stop us. He even encouraged people to reach out to him directly for help.
I know. Which, whether he follows through or not, it reinforces that idea of asking for help. It's okay to not have all the answers.
Absolutely. We don't have to go it alone.
Right. Collaboration means acknowledging that we don't have to be experts in everything. Seeking out mentors, finding communities, having those conversations with others in your field. Those are all ways to get valuable insights that you might not discover on your own.
It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Collaboration can really fast-track your success, like Lester said. And it's not always about those formal partnerships. He even suggests finding collaborators in, of all places, YouTube comments.
Yeah. At first I was like, really?
Me too. It sounds a little crazy.
Yeah.
But then you think about it. You're already engaging with content that you're passionate about, so it makes sense that others in those comments might share similar interests and goals.
It's true. Those unexpected connections can be powerful.
Okay, so it's all about those connections, leveraging platforms, finding unexpected collaborators, seeking advice from mentors and communities. But let's be real, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement. What are the practical steps we can actually take?
The most valuable thing I got from Lester was breaking down those big goals, like he did with the $685 a day target. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Think about what you can realistically achieve each day, each week. Those small steps add up over time.
Okay, so it's all about those baby steps, building momentum over time. But what about those non-labor efforts that he kept talking about? Are there specific types of passive income that you think are more promising than others?
Definitely. We talked about dividend investing, great for building wealth over time. Then there's real estate rentals, which are popular but require more upfront capital. And of course, there's the whole world of online businesses, digital products, online courses, affiliate marketing, and so much more. There are so many options. But it's about finding the right fit for you.
Right, so it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. How do we go about finding those opportunities that align with our own skills and interests?
Self-reflection. That's key. Ask yourself, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What problems can you solve for others? Once you have a clear picture of your own strengths, you can brainstorm potential income streams or collaborations that make sense for you. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Some of the best ideas are the ones that challenge conventional wisdom.
So get creative, use your strengths, and be open to new things. But there's still this selling yourself aspect that Lester keeps emphasizing. I'm not a salesperson by nature. How do we even approach that?
It's a common struggle, but selling yourself doesn't have to be pushy or inauthentic. It's about communicating your value effectively, showcasing your skills and your vision to potential partners or clients. Think about what makes you unique, what sets you apart from the competition.
Okay, so we need to know our strengths and be able to articulate them clearly. But what about when we don't feel experienced enough? What if we feel like we don't have much to offer?
That's where continuous learning becomes so important. The world is constantly changing, with new platforms and strategies emerging all the time. Stay curious, keep learning, and your confidence will grow with your knowledge.
Right, so it's a journey of constant growth and adaptation.
Exactly. And you know what's great? Even if you don't hit that $250,000 mark exactly, those skills and connections you build along the way will be valuable no matter what your goals are. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey.
Absolutely. And what really stood out to me about Lester's video was that emphasis on mindset, being fearless and not letting self-doubt hold you back. He even said, reach out to me directly for help.
Right. It's about knowing it's okay to not have all the answers. Seeking out mentors, finding communities, having conversations with others in your field. Those are all valuable ways to gain insights and support that you might not discover on your own.
It's about acknowledging that we don't have to do everything ourselves.
Exactly. It's about understanding that collaboration isn't about weakness. It's about recognizing that we're stronger together. And Lester really emphasizes that collaboration can accelerate your success, especially when you find collaborators within your niche.
He even suggested finding those collaborators in YouTube comments, which initially made me laugh.
Yeah, at first glance, it seems a bit random, right?
Definitely. But then it clicked. When you're engaging with content that you're passionate about, it makes sense that others in those comments might share similar interests and goals. You never know where those valuable connections might be hiding.
That's so true. It's all about staying open to those unexpected opportunities.
Okay, so the takeaway here is that it's all about connections. Leveraging those existing platforms, finding those unexpected collaborations, and seeking guidance from mentors and communities. But let's be practical here. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but what are the concrete steps we can actually take?
Well, I think the most valuable piece of advice Lester offers is that idea of breaking down big goals into smaller, manageable chunks. Just like he did with that $685 daily target. Instead of getting overwhelmed by the big picture, focus on what you can realistically achieve each day or each week.
So it's about taking those baby steps, building that momentum over time.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of those small wins. They add up quickly.
Absolutely. It's about consistency and progress, not perfection. But what about those non-labor efforts you kept talking about? Are there any specific types of passive income that you think are more promising than others?
For sure. Dividend investing, which we discussed earlier, is great for long-term wealth building. Then there's real estate rentals, although those typically require more upfront capital. And of course, the world of online business is incredibly diverse, selling digital products, creating online courses, affiliate marketing, and so much more. Each of these avenues has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's about finding the right fit for your skills and interests.
Okay, so there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works best for you. But how do we go about identifying those opportunities that align with our strengths and passions?
That's where self-reflection comes in. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What problems can you solve for others? Once you have a clear understanding of your own unique strengths and interests, you can start brainstorming potential income streams or collaborative ventures that make sense for you. And remember, don't be afraid to think outside the box and explore unconventional opportunities.
Right, so get creative, use what you've got, and don't limit yourself. But there's still that selling yourself thing Lester emphasizes. I'm not a natural salesperson, so how do I approach that aspect of things?
That's a great question, and I know a lot of people feel that way. But selling yourself doesn't have to be about being pushy or inauthentic. It's about confidently communicating your value, your skills, your vision to potential partners or clients. Think about what makes you unique, what sets you apart from the competition.
Okay, so know your strengths and be able to explain them well. But what about those times when we don't feel experienced enough? Like we don't have much to offer yet?
That's where the importance of continuous learning comes in. The world is always changing, with new platforms and strategies emerging all the time. Embrace that. Stay curious, keep learning, and you'll find that your confidence grows as you gain more knowledge and experience.
Right, so it's a journey of growth and adaptation, always learning, always evolving.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, even if you don't hit that exact $250,000 mark, the skills and connections you build along the way will be valuable no matter what your goals are. It's about the journey, not just the destination.
I love that. And what really resonated with me about Lester's video was his emphasis on mindset. Be fearless. Don't let self-doubt hold you back. He even encouraged viewers to reach out to him directly for help.
Right, and whether or not he follows through, it reinforces that idea that it's okay to ask for help, to seek guidance and support. Collaboration means recognizing that we don't have to figure everything out on our own.
Absolutely. And you know what? When you approach things with that mindset, when you're open to collaboration and learning, you never know what amazing opportunities might present themselves. We might not be able to hand you a step-by-step guide to earning $250,000, but hopefully this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective, some new tools, and the belief that it really is possible.
Exactly. It's about those principles that can empower you to reach your financial goals, whatever they might be. And that's what we're all about here. And honestly, I think one of the biggest takeaways from Lester's video is this. It's not about finding that one magic bullet, that one perfect path to riches.
It's more about a shift in thinking.
Exactly. It's about adopting a certain mindset, a belief that you can achieve those goals, even if it's not always easy.
It makes me think of that whole law of attraction idea. If you believe it, you can achieve it.
There's definitely a psychological component to earning a significant income. It's not just about the practical steps. You have to believe you can actually get there.
Right, because if you don't believe it's possible, are you even going to try?
Probably not. And I think that's where Lester succeeds. He instills that belief, that sense of possibility in his viewers, and he even takes it a step further, encouraging people to reach out to him directly for help.
Yeah, he says, contact me. Which, who knows if he actually responds to everyone, but it reinforces that idea of seeking out guidance.
Absolutely. So often we try to figure everything out on our own, but there's so much value in connecting with people who have already walked the path you're on.
Right. Mentors, communities, even just those casual conversations with people in your field, those can spark ideas you wouldn't have had on your own.
Totally agree. And speaking of sparking ideas, Lester's take on passive income is pretty interesting. He doesn't just throw out those vague ideas. He gives concrete examples, like selling those digital planners.
Yeah, that one caught my attention too. At first I was like, digital planners, really? Is that even a viable market anymore?
It's easy to dismiss those seemingly niche markets. But remember, we live in a digital world. People are constantly looking for solutions that are both convenient and affordable. Digital planners, ebooks, online courses, there's potential there if you know how to tap into it.
Okay, so it's not just about the product itself. It's about identifying a need and then creating a solution that people actually want and then marketing it effectively.
Exactly. And that's where leveraging existing platforms comes in. YouTube, social media, even your own blog. Those are all tools you can use to reach a wider audience. And of course, collaboration plays a huge role here too.
Lester's big on that, right? The whole no one is self-made philosophy.
Oh, he hammers that point home. Partnerships can make a huge difference in accelerating your progress.
Right. Two heads are better than one, as they say.
Absolutely. And it's not always about formal business partnerships either. He even mentions finding collaborators in, get this, YouTube comments.
I know, that one made me chuckle a little bit. It sounds a little chaotic, but I see his point. You're already engaging with content you're interested in, so maybe there are others there who share your passions and goals.
It's true. Sometimes those unexpected connections can lead to incredible opportunities. And, one of the things that really stuck with me from Lester's video was his emphasis on selling yourself.
Oh, yeah. He's not shy about that, is he?
Not at all. But, while it might rub some people the wrong way, I actually think it's a valuable message, especially for those of us who aren't natural salespeople.
Because at the end of the day, if you want to succeed in any field, you need to be able to communicate your value. Convince people to invest in you, whether that's a client, a customer, or a potential collaborator.
Exactly. And, selling yourself doesn't have to be about being pushy or inauthentic. It's about showcasing your skills, your experience, your passion, and doing it in a way that feels genuine and compelling. It's about building those relationships, establishing trust, and demonstrating that you're committed to creating something of value.
So it's not about manipulation. It's about connecting with people authentically and sharing your passion with them.
Precisely. It's about finding those people who share your vision and your work ethic, and then working together to make that vision a reality.
I love that. So it's not just about finding people with complementary skills. It's about finding people who you enjoy working with, people who bring positive energy to the table and make the whole journey more fun and fulfilling.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, when you're working on something you're truly passionate about with people you respect and enjoy being around, it doesn't even feel like work. It feels like an adventure.
I love that analogy. And, one of the things I really appreciate about Lester's approach is that he doesn't just focus on the financial side of things. He also emphasizes the importance of personal growth and fulfillment.
Yes. Finding your purpose, pursuing your passions, using your talents to make a positive impact. Those are all themes he touches on. And I think those are things that truly successful people prioritize. It's not just about the money. It's about creating a life that is both financially rewarding and personally fulfilling.
Right. And, what I've noticed is that when you approach your work from that perspective, when you're driven by a sense of purpose and a desire to make a difference, the financial rewards often follow naturally.
Absolutely. When you're genuinely excited about what you're doing, it shows. It resonates with people.
So it's not just about selling yourself. It's about sharing your passion with the world and inviting others to join you on that journey.
Exactly. And when you do that, you tend to attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right resources.
It's like creating a magnet for success.
And one of the things that's so inspiring about Lester's story is that he didn't start out with any special advantages or connections. He built his success from the ground up through hard work, determination, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Which is such an encouraging message for anyone who feels like they're starting from behind. It's a reminder that we all have the potential to achieve great things, no matter where we come from or what resources we have. The key is to believe in yourself, be willing to put in the work, and never give up on your vision. It's interesting how we started this whole deep dive talking about earning $250,000 a year, and here we are talking about mindset, purpose, and the power of believing in yourself.
It's funny how those conversations tend to unfold, right? You start with a specific goal, a number, and you end up exploring all these other ideas and possibilities.
And I think that's what I love about these deep dives. They really push us to think beyond the surface level and consider the bigger picture.
Right. It's not just about the money. It's about the journey, the growth, the impact we make along the way.
Exactly. And, one of the things that really stood out to me from Lester's video was his emphasis on collaboration. He repeatedly emphasizes that no one is self-made. And he encourages viewers to seek out partnerships that can help them achieve their goals faster.
Absolutely. And, I've noticed that in my own life, too. Whenever I've achieved something significant, it's always been with the help and support of others.
It's like that African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that. And, Lester even takes it a step further. He suggests finding collaborators in, of all places, YouTube comments.
Yeah, that one made me laugh. But then
Yeah.
I realized it makes sense in a way. You're already engaging with content that you're passionate about. So there's a good chance that others in those comments share similar interests and goals.
Right. You never know where those valuable connections might be hiding.
So it's really about being open to possibilities, being proactive, and reaching out to people who might be able to help you on your journey.
And being willing to help others too. Collaboration is a two-way street.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset, collaboration, leveraging resources. What are the key takeaways that our listeners can actually put into action?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say it's about believing in yourself and your ability to achieve your goals. If you don't believe it's possible, it's going to be very difficult to make it happen.
Right. Belief is everything. It's the fuel that propels us forward.
Absolutely. And then it's about taking action. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Just start taking small steps every day towards your goals.
I love that. It's about progress over perfection.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. Find mentors, join communities, connect with people who can support you on your journey.
It's true. We don't have to do this alone. There's a whole world of resources and support out there waiting for us to tap into it.
And even if you don't hit that exact $250,000 mark, the skills you develop, the connections you make, and the lessons you learn along the way will be invaluable no matter what your financial goals are.
I think that's a great point to